Back to World Crisis Radio. Some news perhaps of interest to the cokeheads out there, the followers of the Koch brothers, or Koch brothers. Charles and David Koch, they each own 42% of Koch, or Koch Industries. What about that other 16%? Well, it leads us to a story in the news this week. The other 16% was once controlled by J. Howard Marshall, a friend of Fred Koch, the father of these two reactionary brothers. And J. Howard Marshall is known today because he's the guy who, at age 89, married Anna Nicole Smith and made her a famous person, a rich star, took her out of obscurity and provided the money that she then used to buy all of these prescription drugs, which we're hearing about this week. So this is the moral atmosphere, right? We know that David Koch was quite a playboy there in New York City. And now we see that this J. Howard Marshall of the earlier generation was the one who went for Anna Nicole. So this is not exactly morally edifying. We also know, in terms of other scandals around the cokeheads, we got this guy, Carl Palladino, cokehead candidate for governor of New York, Tea Party candidate, and he's been cashing in on a $1.4 million tax break from Economic Development Authority, Empire State Development Corp. Of New York State. And he is a big enemy of big government, but man, he wants that $1.4 million as a tax break for his companies. How about that? Do we see a possible answer, a contradiction? Also, it's interesting, Larry Kudlow, the voice of Wall Street on CNBC, big endorsement of the Tea Party, why I am bullish on the Tea Party revolt. Put this stuff together, people, and you'll see who's doing what to whom. But now let's go back to Obama. One thing interesting here, in the Wall Street Journal of Wednesday, September 22nd, we got John Fund, and he gets on TV, right? He's part of the brotherhood that gets on TV. The Carter-Obama comparisons are growing, and we're even told that Sean Willents of Princeton University, Fox News, August 2008, Obama's rhetoric is more like Jimmy Carter's. Jonah Goldberg joins in, and now it's becoming more common. Walter Mondale warns that he's going to become a new Carter. Now, of course, all of this you can read in Obama, the Postmodern Coup, The Making of a Manchurian Candidate, at least 6 to 8 months before any of these people came up with that. So if you want to catch up with tomorrow's news, Obama, the Postmodern Coup, The Making of a Manchurian Candidate. Now, we've talked about this question of the District of Columbia and the election there and the implications of Obama, for Obama, which is very grim. This is Adrian Fenty, defeated. This is a union buster working with Michelle Rhee, the school's chancellor, to fire 250 to 300 teachers a year, bust the union, wipe out seniority, institute merit pay, bring in strike breakers and scabs, calling themselves Teach for America, college students interested in busting the union. And now, in the wake of the fall of Fenty, we have Eddie Glaude, professor of religion and African American studies, also at Princeton, suggests that Fenty's defeat suggests that the model of deracialization might not be sustainable. It is time for us to think about the direction of African American politics. What are we to make of this new class of post-racial black leaders? What challenges do they face, and who will follow in their wake? Interesting, because this bears precisely on Obama. Will he keep the total devotion of the black community, or will he lose it in the way that Fenty did? I would also point to a very interesting column. This one was soon after the primary. Thursday, September 16th, Cortland Malloy in the Wall Street Journal. Ding dong, Fenty's gone, the wicked mayor is gone. And he essentially says that that the Fenty regime in the District of Columbia was a return to the three-person Federal Control Board, or the Federal administration of the District of Columbia, before Home Rule. In other words, before people had the right to elect a mayor, there was this previous system where three congressionally appointed bureaucrats did the job. And there were some really interesting quotes in here, and unfortunately, a lot of them apply to Obama. Let's see if we can just find one or two examples of this. What happened to Fenty? It was not just a revolt against the abrasive style of Fenty, it was a populist revolt against Fenty's arrogant efforts to restructure government on behalf of a privileged few. The scheme was odious, the Fenty scheme, to recreate a more sophisticated version of the plantation-style federally appointed three-member commission that ruled the city for more than a century until 1967. Fenty made for a kind of friendly fascism, in which D.C. government serves the interests of business leaders and landed gentry. Remarkably, Fenty's approach became much ballyhooed. Fenty, his supporters raved, was making the trains run on time. Mussolini, that people were falling off the caboose and being railroaded out of town was just the price of progress. Fenty was arrogant. He was described as a dictator, a Napoleon wannabe, wanted to walk all over us and let the education boss spit in our faces. The other problem that he points to is that the teachers' union is seen in Washington, D.C., and I think it's probably similar in Chicago and some other places. The black middle class sees the teachers' union as a path to middle-class status. So you want to bust the teachers' union, which appeals to many gentrified whites. The black community is not going to be on board with that because they also see this not just as education but also jobs and upward mobility, as they should. So that's a shameful story for the gentrified white population of D.C. to have gone for Fenty, but thanks to the black community, he has been voted out. And again, most of what I just read you really could apply just as much to Obama. So this is where we stand, the new Carter. Now let's shift gears a little bit, and we'll be back in just a minute here on World Crisis Radio.